So we're also thrilled to be joined tonight by many of your terrific Louisiana leaders. And I want to ask a few of these people to come up. I might as well ask them all to come out. Because they're warriors, all of them. A man who knows more about the medical world than just about anybody I know. It helps that he's also a doctor, in addition to being a senator. And he's a great man and a great person, Senator Bill Cassidy. Come on up, Bill. And a man who's become a great friend of mine. He's so tough and he's so smart. You know who I'm talking about. And he's got the greatest name. A very special guy. Went to Oxford. He went to Oxford. You know what that means? That means good. That means you're very good. But he's an incredible guy, and he loves his state. John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy. And I think what we'll do is we'll have some of our incredible warriors come up also, right? Because we have a man that you never heard of before. He's the toughest guy. He got hit hard. He got hit hard. And you know, when they had him out at second base less than a year after, he couldn't move too well. He didn't have big range. I tell the story. He was in the big stadium, and they were playing the Democrats, of all people. And the first pitch, a hard shot, was hit to the second baseman, and that ball was hit hard. And I said, oh, this is a disaster. And Steve got down, Steve Scalise, and he caught that ball, and he threw that ball to first base. Then he came off to a hero's welcome. Steve Scalise, come up, Steve. Great guy. I went to the hospital with the First Lady the night that he was hit, and he wasn't looking too good. The doctor said, not looking good, sir. And he wasn't. And I told him, one thing I learned that night, your wife loves you, because she was crying. You know, I've known many wives that weren't crying in those cases. But I said, Steve, your wife is in love with you, man. But you got better fast, and we love you. He's a brave guy. And another brave man, and a highly respected man, and a man who gave Eddie a hell of a fight. That was close. And they've developed a real relationship and a respect for each other. We're on the campaign trail, and it was a nasty campaign, but not really nasty enough, because Ralph respects Eddie a lot, and Eddie respects Ralph a lot. And I want to ask Ralph Abraham, please come up, Ralph, Congressman. And I want Garrett Graves, come on up here, Garrett, Clay Higgins, your great Congressman Mike Johnson. These are all incredible people. Mike Johnson, great man, great people. Your former Congressman John Fleming, your state's Attorney General Jeff Landry, State Treasurer John Schroeder, come on up. Come on, John, you got to say something. Go ahead.
And we can't forget our Secretary of State, who's also on the ballot, Kyle Ardoin.
Louisiana! Hello, Shreveport Bossier! thank you, President Trump, for visiting our state yet again. I stand before you tonight. I stand before you tonight as a proud deplorable. And unlike some of the folks in Washington, D.C., I'm talking about the cultured, cosmopolitan, goat's milk latte drinking, avocado toast eating insiders elite. As a deplorable, I believe that everybody counts, and I care about you. And so does the President of the United States of America. Go vote Saturday. Unless, listen to me, unless you're happy with crappy, vote for Eddie Rispone for governor. Unless you're happy with crappy, vote for Kyle Erdogan for Secretary of State. Unless you're happy with crappy, vote for Robert Mills for the state Senate. God bless America, God bless our president, and God bless the state of Louisiana.
Now, you know, I'm a little confused tonight, and I want to make sure the record is straight. Now, I'm going to give you a choice. You know, the president's been speaking as if he might run against Joe Biden. So let me ask you, who do you think is more pro-military, Joe Biden or Donald? And who do you think is going to protect your Second Amendment rights, Joe Biden or Donald? And who do you think is going to protect your borders? Now, there is one question you would yell Biden to. That would be, who's going to vote for our incumbent governor? But if he was a resident of our state, who would vote for Eddie Rispone? Joe Biden or Donald? Now, we need not just you to vote for Eddie Rispone, but we also need you to get your neighbor and your neighbor's neighbor. This is going to be a close election. This could be decided by 1,000 votes in the entire state. You're going to make a difference if you vote, and if you get your friend to vote, and if you get your friend's friend to vote, and if you get your girlfriend to vote and your boyfriend to vote. And if you do that, and if Eddie Rispone gets elected, do you know who they're going to credit? They're going to credit Donald. And they're also going to credit you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, John. I want to bring up a man who has shown a lot. He's incredible. So respected in Congress, so respected by me, and he's become a real friend. And they're all warriors. This guy, though, has been something very special. He ran a tough, tough campaign. I would say he had a little less money to spend than Eddie, but that's okay. And it was tight. And now he's 1,000% for Eddie. And Ralph, could you come up? Ralph Abraham, come up and say a few words.
Thank you so much. We all thank President Trump for making America great again. What I thank President Trump for was allowing me to ride with him on Air Force One to get away from that insanity of Pelosi and Schiff. And Mr. President, thank you so much for doing the United States-Mexican-Canada agreement. Thank you for taking care of our military. Thank you for taking care of our law enforcement. And Pelosi will not allow us to vote on that in the United States Congress. This great president has got our backs, but Pelosi won't let us vote on that. Now, Mr. President, in Louisiana, we know what horse manure looks like. And we know that this impeachment inquiry is a trunk full of it. And we know that Pelosi and Adam Schiff are up to their necks in it. And I've got a new theme song for Adam Schiff. It's Marvin Gaye's "We Heard It Through the Grapevine," because there is no direct conversation except between you and President Zelensky. And you said it, Mr. Trump, they can't beat you at the polls, so they're trying to overturn our vote in the last election. We're not going to let that happen. We also said, President, thank you, Mr. President, for pointing out that we are last in economy, we are last in jobs, we are last in murder, everything that we should be first in Louisiana, we're dead last. We are much better than that. And while the Democrats are trying to convince us that 3 makes a couple, I don't have any idea what a throuple is, but that's what they're telling us, that 3 makes 2. This great man is working for us every day of the week. So we appreciate you, Mr. President. And in Louisiana, we know that we have the most fertile farmland. We have oil and gas industry that will rival most countries. And we have our wonderful peoples whose ingenuity is second to none. We are not going to be fooled again, Mr. President. Go out and vote Saturday, vote for Eddie, and let's get this thing done. Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Great job, as always. I'm